Others survive in the wilderness, starving for 9 meals in 3 days. And Bayi eats wherever he goes. We started with a seal. Swarms of purple sea urchins have also appeared by the sea. Finally, a 49.5 kilograms wild goat was harvested. Live in pure wool sleeping bags. The west coast of Ireland towers 600 meters into the ocean. Strong winds bring massive waves from the Caribbean Sea, locally known as the Skeleton Coast. In this issue, Bayi decided to challenge him. Charter a yacht to gallop on the sea. Wait until you arrive at the designated location. With a command from the captain, Lord Bay curled up just in time. Hit the sea like a cannonball. At this point, the nearest land to him is a kilometer away. In the vast Atlantic Ocean, the wilderness handle is as small as an ant. The priority now is to get rid of the icy waters. Fortunately, swimming is his forte. Quickly reach the coast. There are hundreds of meters of cliffs in front of you. Mountains in the eyes of others. Walking on the ground at the feet of Shino. Climbing up on the cheerful accelerator. Who knew it came to a dead end? It's impossible to climb up. And the quilt's brain was working like crazy. Analyze the surrounding terrain. It is currently about 20 meters above the sea. The quickest way is to jump into the sea first. Look for breakthroughs from other cliffs. Then he took a deep breath. Began a leap of faith. 2 legs and 1 kick. Feet closed. Hold your breath 9 to 9 perfect fall. Trampled safe and sound. The photographer is not afraid. Carrying the filming equipment without saying a word. My darling, this momentum is no less than carrying a handle in the wilderness, with constant search. A bright light under the cliff attracted him. It looks like a cave. Maybe try my luck there. Just passed through, sure enough. Compared to a steep cliff, this is like a freeway. Come to the top of the mountain. The quilt is also not taken lightly. The next forward goal is to trek south. It took less than 5 minutes to travel. The poster with a packed lunch caught him. It smells disgusting. The tooth bandit is out of shape. Yes, definitely not edible. I wanted to take some poster fat and use it. The result is already exhausted. Then climb up a salt rack. The quilt is silky on the mossy rocks. Good guy. If you fall, your knees won't break. To avoid tragedy. So he had to wear his socks out. Use the fibers inside to increase friction with the ground. I have to say that the difference between wearing and not wearing is huge. Energy expenditure over long distances away from slippery terrain. It's time to get some protein. Close to the shore, Lord Bay found a rouge swimming. They live by eating seaweed. Seeing the other party, there is no intention of leaving. Bayi picked up a brick and slowly approached. Planned to knock out and take it in one fell swoop. Arrival position aim release hit in the head. Enough is enough. The bad thing is that the distance is not well controlled. 0.01 centimeters short. Helpless, I had to come to the shore to catch the sea. Found a swarm of purple sea urchins in a rock crevice. Cut off a lump and quickly shrink it. My darling tastes delicious and delicate. It's like a salty duck yolk. Rich in vitamins and other minerals. Lord Bay finished it in one breath. In the context of limited freshwater resources, Lord Bay doesn't dare to be gluttonous. It's about digesting food. Will accelerate the consumption of precious bodily fluids. Just as he happily stepped on the accelerator, a beached fishing boat suddenly appeared ahead. For survivors. It's a great place to collect supplies. There are cables of different lengths and thicknesses piled up inside. Simply pack a piece and take it with you. Ready to go. Bayi continues to trek south. That's when the tide starts to rise. I don't want to get caught up in it again. Lord Bay uses his amazing chair, with the help of the focus of the rock wall, rock climbing, successfully climbed to the top of the mountain. And this made him very sad and happy. Because there are miniaturized boats on the far sea. Too bad it's too far. Unable to release distress signal. It seems that you can only escape this ghost place by strength. Go up the slope. It's a desolate alpine plain, just as Lord Bay is still worrying about setting up camp tonight. Walking and walking, people say no and it's gone. Good guy. I don't know which wicked thing is digging a hole in the ground, thanks to the wilderness handle's agility. If a starving expert knocks on his front teeth less, according to statistics, many adventurers are killed here every year. Even the plain can't be careless. To maintain dryness, Bayi looks for the prominent cliffs when camping. Take a look inside. The interior is surrounded by rocks on 3 sides. It was tailor-made for him. Not far from the gate is Lake Burger. Is a great place to find protein. Stepping on the accelerator to the lake, a white sheep skull attracted his attention. My darling, this looks like a treasure trove of feng shui. In fact, there is a mystery. If you are not careful, you will fall into a muddy swamp. However, for Bayi, it is a good place to sit and enjoy the power of a fisherman. In the blink of an eye, an ibex made him discover. It looks like it just hit the street not long ago. In order not to get the clothes wet, Lord Bay is naked, jumped into the swamp in a pair of big panties. It's not that I don't know. The mud below is as sticky as watering. Every move needs to be very careful. But for the feast in front of you? The foodie feels that everything is worth it. You do that, you move the ibex, while taking advantage of his benefits. That's to calorie. Just got out. Don't say a word of nonsense after going ashore. Utilize the skilled tobacco brother technique. 3 + 5 divided by 2. Take off the ibex coat. Pick up another piece of good lamb spine for dinner. Dude hasn't cooked yet. I unconsciously flowed out of the holozzi. Of course, the visceral foodie's back is not wasted. Pack the 9-turn large intestine and deal with it a little bit. It is a good material for making rope. As for the heart, known as the best survival food in the wilderness, Lord Bay is reluctant to throw it away. Enjoy it crunchily on the spot. It's chewy, it's not wood, it's not greasy. The pretty boy looked at it and shook his head to get 20% full. Return to camp with a sheepskin sleeping bag. Pick up some soft moss shoes nearby. Spread out in a cave as a mattress. Even so, Lord Bay is still worried and finds a way to start the fire. So I found a dry quagmire. Not only does it burn well, you can make portable tinder. Go back to camp and ignite the raging flames when you start the fire. Then take out the lamb tenderloin and start cooking. To be tender and juicy, it is very important to retain the moisture in the meat. Make a natural steamer wrapped in moss. Throw it directly onto the fire and bake for 15 minutes. The fragrance permeates the entire camp. It's in good condition. Take a bite, dude. Not to mention how smooth the taste is. It tastes just as good as a Michelin meal pill. Near sunset, the sky began to drizzle. This scene, the quilt can't help but sigh. Another cappuccino would be perfect. In the blink of an eye, night falls. Originally comfortable camping turned into a muddy water passenger under the initialization of rain. So half asleep, the quilt finally made it to dawn. Pack up the supplies. Step on the accelerator and continue to set off on the inner road. Walk to a broken wall, facing the huge gap. The quilt dare not trek rashly, looking at the mountain well not far away. The detour could take several hours. Then he remembered the rope he packed before. Split them in 2. 2 into 4, until it is long enough for him to use. Tie it to a boulder. In order to ensure secondary use, they also hit a special robbery. Everything was ready for Morgan to do his old job again. One-handed direction control. Release the rope with one hand. The feet are unsteady and slowly descend. The drawback is that the thigh strangulation is excruciating. Take a short break. I was boldly rushed to the bottom of the cliff and landed on the ground. Shake hard to recycle the rope. Then trudge down the stream. Not only can you replenish water on the way, if you are hungry, you can also catch a crocodile to charge for energy. However, raw water should never be drunk directly. Seemingly clear mountain spring. There may be ibex lying on it. Quench your thirst rashly. Likely to cause severe diarrhea and vomiting. Stepping on the 80-mile throttle, Bayi finally escaped from the wasteland. On the opposite side is a large lake and a dense arch. Compared to the wild plains, it's full of possibilities. Seems close at hand. Experience tells him that it is far more than. To be on the safe side, it was planned to make a welfare airbag by hand. Turn the trotters out. Stuff it with licorice and cut wood. Tie the groove with a rope. To ensure that the body is dry after landing, take off the quilt. Only one pair of large underpants is kept for the clothes. It's all stuffed into sheepskin with the backpack. Finally, pour a dozen mouthfuls of fairy energy into it. Busy for an hour. Lord Bai took Bai Chenha down to the cold lake. Lake water that is not hot, with the occasional cold wind. They made him shiver. Fortunately, there are welfare airbag blessings to reach the other side without danger. Change into dry and warm clothes. He visibly felt his temperature begin to recover. Climb up the steep slope. Heaven pays off. A mountain road driven by a car led him to this place. The challenge was also successfully completed. Others go wild and starve for 9 meals in 3 days. Be bold and awesome. 800 kilograms white-headed bison. 2.5 caddies of rattlesnake spicy strips for barbecue. They live in a traditional Indian military camp. Hungry and chewing dried radish. Mouth-gnawing cactus. Small life, not to mention the bigoted Vananda Kota. Black Hills. Over 20,000 square of granite mountains. Jungles and jagged cliffs. In this issue, Bayi challenged him. Arrive at your destination by helicopter. Overhead. Complex landforms are not suitable for free fall. I had to choose a relatively flat terrain. At a distance of 6 meters from the ground. Be boldly and smoothly landed without pressure. I haven't come to enjoy the scenery yet. The fickle weather gave him insight. Clear blue sky. A large number of thunderclouds gathered in a few minutes. Avoid becoming a lightning rod. He has to get out of this place as soon as possible. Stepping on the fast throttle. Jumping up and down steep and dangerous terrain. In the blink of an eye, he arrived halfway up the mountain. Then God played another joke on him. The cloudy sky cleared again. Not far from a lifetime. Found an abandoned building. Guess it might be the last century. The gold diggers of the 1970s left behind. It's a good opportunity for him to collect supplies. As soon as I came in, I stared at a dilapidated inner station. Cut it into strips. It can be used as a rope and a trap. Cut off a small piece of tape on the road. Come to the corner. An underground mine attracted him. In line with the principle of drilling a hole, Handmaid is busy making portable torches. Divide the stick into 3 parts, with birch bark as fuel. Too late to drill wood to make fire. Just take out the ignition stick and light the flame. Then he drilled into the ground with a torch. It was pitch black. Gives a creepy feeling. Take a good look around. A nail was found by Lord Bai. Just took 2 steps and there is another one. It doesn't matter if it's useful or not. Wrap it up first. See the torches go out. Lord Bai, hurry up and find your way out. Although I didn't find the golden chestnut and 2 iron nails. At least not too bad. Not long after departure. The rapidly changing weather makes the rocks wet and slippery. Rock climbing is impossible. They can only find other ways down the mountain. A tall tree was found at the end of the cliff. So Bai Buzuan started thinking crooked again, worrying about the impact of the school bag. Wrapped in a coat. After packing up, he jumped up and hung it on the tree. Goodfellas, once during the splits, he didn't even have a chance to tell the world in vain. Due to the age of the woods, many branches have dried up. One step suddenly falls into the air, startled him on the spot. At a distance of 6 meters from the ground, lost the blessing of the branches. Bai uses the principle of peg stock to slowly decline, fell to the ground unharmed. The foodie is tired and hungry. Stopped next to a clear sliver on the way. He cut for wooden sticks with a dragon slayer and stuck them on the ground. I put up a makeshift cooktop, collect bark and dried sticks from nearby, stacked like hamburgers according to flammability. Then the flame is inserted from the bottom. The fire is burning. When the water is about to boil, add an appropriate amount of yunchen needles. 5 minutes later, an authentic wilderness cloud mountain tea. Take a sip. Authentic and authentic. The palatable feeling makes Bai very comfortable inside. After drinking, Bai did not stay, escaping the treacherous hills into the jungle. There are so many resources. Soon he found a large piece of incense. Not only is it a good material for starting fires, it also has a warm effect. Collect more and take them with you. The steep mountain path was like a highway to him. Trek up and enjoy silky slippery, looking at the beautiful mountains, water and scenery in front of you. Bai immediately decided to set up camp in advance, because the environment will be more barren in the future. And we started collecting construction lumber. Wrap the 3 dead logs firmly with the belt first. It puts up a triangular cone frame, and it's surrounded by lots of branches. 3/5 divided by 2 to build a wilderness hand scraper shed, even if it can't be protected from wind and rain, but it provides him with enough security. Have a warm home. Protein is also on the agenda. Went out for a walk 1 billion and found an antler. Think of the tires collected before. There's no question. To builder. The driving pile that terrifies countless small animals. Match the tire base with 2 spring ropes. It's a slingshot with infinite power. It is said that this place is the paradise of the white rabbit. The quilt can't wait to catch one and open the meat. And I looked for the paper, and I found this sunbathing squirrel. The back of the foodie is not picky, slowly approaching and sending the opponent a blow. The good guy is nearly 108,000 miles off. Not believing in evil, he hurried to pursue. The results are still unsatisfactory. While attempting the 3rd attack, there is a problem with the photographer. Found a rattlestick hidden in the corner. I was so scared that I hurriedly called him over. Hear this news. The corners of the quilt's mouth involuntarily rose slightly. Step on the accelerator and come to the front. Not used to each other. Use the dog stick method to quickly subdue. Ranged physical attacks with stones. The next fat dinner is in hand. Go back to the camp and dig down with the iron nails you found. Plan to make a Dakota fire pit. There are 2 holes connected in series. This makes it easier to control the fire. The second is to prevent being blown out by the wind. Crush the collected juniper bark and use it as a stove. With a click, the flames ignited immediately. Then take off the spicy strip jacket and scald the mouth on the fire. Just then the thunderclouds gathered. He can only pray that Lei Gong Dian Mu will give some face. As a result, as soon as the voice fell, a lightning bolt fell behind him, with the deafening thunder. My darling, what are you doing now? Torrential rain is expected in another 10 minutes. Gather some grass to fill the gaps in the shelter, watching the lightning fall. The quilt doesn't dare to stay in the cone shelter. The grass huddled together. By observing between lightning and thunder, the interval determines the distance between the thunderstorm and itself, until beyond 16 kilometers. The quilt dares to move, humming and tasting spicy strips, crispy chicken flavor. Although it is simple, it can fill the stomach. To keep warm at night, stuff the remaining cattails into your clothes. Time came the next day. I didn't eat fried dough sticks, buns, and spicy soup. I was also stepped on the accelerator and set off. Halfway, a prairie radish attracted him. The leaves are orangutan. Dig out the roots and remove the skin. White radish head. The quilt is not in a hurry to eat. It is said that it tastes better when dried. Next he will usher in the Great Plains of North America. Can't see the end at a glance. In it is like a sea of grass. Just as he was walking well, a herd of bison suddenly rushed out from behind. What grade does the other party want to see? Dozens of times their size, menacing. To be overwhelmed by boldness. Quickly withdraw from the bison's route. Towards the depths of the grassland. Dehydration is a concern. Lord Bay noticed one. Extremely lush land. This often means that there is either surface water there. Either the groundwater is shallow. Go over and dig in the ground. Few efforts. You take out loads and loads of mud. Dig a few centimeters deeper and you'll see the water. The muddy water that seeps into the pit after biting off the head. It will be much clearer when you come in again. This water is drinkable. Fill the kettle when you are full. I don't know how long it took. Lord Bay sees a bison that has been dead for many days. Delicious steak is inedible. But he did. The fat on the bulge of the cow's back rots more slowly. Maybe make do with some food. As a result, I cut it open and saw the appearance of even soup and water. If you eat it and don't open the table in place, the helpless Bayi had to give up the bison. Stepping on the accelerator to the edge of the prairie, the scene in front of him suddenly stunned by flax. Unfortunately, there happened to be a road opposite him. Thinking of detours is not his style. Morgan had to pick up where he left off. Under the long-term erosion of wind and water, this land is sometimes loose and sometimes hard. I can't figure out the pattern at all, with its steep terrain. Made the prostate of the quilt suffer a lot. Think about it. Decided to reach the bottom of the valley first. It goes up the riverbed and down again. When you're exhausted, you can only nibble on dried radish. It tastes crunchy. The carbohydrate content is dozens of times that of beef. Restore enough physical strength. Ready to go big. Pick 2 branches and process them into icebreakers. Without a word, challenge to a 70-degree steep slope. The journey went well at first. The more you go up, the less energy you have. Slip. I almost suffered together with the photographer. I don't know how long it took. The journey is finally smoother. From day to night. He didn't stop his angle either. Until I see the light that appears. Finally reached the edge of the road. At this point, Bayi has also successfully completed the challenge. You may not believe it. The wilderness bearer was actually taught a lesson by a bee. Fortunately, you can eat sweet honey. And fragrant siren-tailed spicy strips. He even attacked the stinking achijo again. Fat bugs are only an appetizer before meals. Baja Peninsula in northern Mexico? It's 1,600 kilometers of barren land. The temperature difference between day and night can reach up to 70 degrees. In this issue, Bayi decided to challenge him. Take a helicopter to reach the destination 1,500 meters above. The complex terrain makes it difficult to find a suitable landing spot, but the quilt had to do its old job. Hanging on the rack. Let go of your hands. Officially open this covenant of faith. He looks at the altitude as he descends. See you when the time is right. Pull the parachute. Aim for a dry riverbed. Bold and unharmed. Quick recycling. Prepare the East Coast as a target for action. He stepped on the accelerator and set off. Look at the white flowers. Temperatures can reach nearly 50 degrees during the day, but don't be fooled by appearances. Because once night falls, the sub-zero cold will teach you to see reality. Take off your thick coat. Water is Bayi's next priority. Dig down the boulder with a stick. As long as you have access to the mud layer, it's not too far from the water source. However, after digging for half a day, except for sand, it's wet sand. No hope for water. Bay Daring immediately decided to go to low altitudes to develop. But first you need to turn over Yuhua. 152-meter peak composed of granite. Fortunately, mountain climbing has always been Morgan's strong suit. Come to the top of the mountain. The road ahead is panoramic. With a clear goal in mind, the quilt stepped on the accelerator and rushed to the foot of the mountain. As the saying goes, it's easy to go up the mountain, but difficult to go down the mountain. Just jumped for a while. I was stopped by a straight cliff in front of me, but it's not a false reputation to keep your back without any protective measures. Back to free climbing. I end up crawling. Bayi's little hands suddenly slipped. My darling. Did the wilderness handle fall like this? The camera turns. Luckily it was caught by the ledge. Otherwise, it will be difficult to explain to grandmother when you go home. Just holding onto the crack, move slowly around the rock until a suitable landing spot is found. The rest of the journey is much easier. The quilt jumps up and down like a monkey. A free and easy movement is unmatched by starvation experts. Tactical tumble with one move. Arrive at the foot of the mountain smoothly. Coincidentally, a dead wood came into view. In the wilderness, this is a lifesaver for survivors. There's a lot of hard vegetables in there. The foodie was made out with a stick, a good guy. The meat is quite plump. And he was about to start. He found a passing beetle next to him. Whatever breed he is, all fresh and crunchy. I just chewed it twice. The quilt was hard to swallow and spit out. My darling, why does it taste better than preserved eggs? I haven't tasted any flavor in all these years. It's the first time this guy won't get pissed off. The foodie was attacked by the white fat bug. Squeeze out internal organs. Throw it directly into your mouth and chew it carefully. The taste is much more authentic than that of a beetle. Protein is dozens of times higher than beef. To survive here for a long time. The biggest problem Bae faces is finding fresh water. Trek to a Baines rock. There are clear mountain springs flowing above. First, the quilt shrank a few mouthfuls first, slightly relieved. He untied the carry, using capillary phenomena, draining water from the rock wall into the lake during the long wait. He's not idle either. Number of times to explore and collect materials, build strength for the journey ahead. And we walked, found a wild car. The surface is rusty. Although protein is incomparable to beef, the other materials inside can still be used. Remove a wire and keep it as a trap and sit. Lithium batteries can be used to keep out the cold at night. With these too, not far from living a vacation life. While continuing to stroll around, animal footprints on the ground caught his attention, based on years of wild experience. The foodie was judged to be left behind by the stinky lure. Harness the resilience of willows, being boldly prepared to machine an elastic snare, to make sure nothing goes wrong. He found a natural passage, sharpen one end of the willow tree and insert it into the crack, and I tried. The effect is awesome. And then I would trap the wire. Use the principle of leverage. Lay a press hunting trap. To test its sensitivity. The jungler tries his hand, my darling. Lions, tigers, rhinos, all has. Planting trees is gradually. It is urgent to build warm shelters without leaving. I saw the quilt doing its best. Crush the thick branches. And we use it as a proxy for a single splash. The location is near the rock. The purpose is to reflect the heat of the campfire. The side gaps are filled with wood. Put the cushion on the floor. When Simmons 3+5 divides 2. A wilderness hand-scraping shed was quickly built by hand. Come and check the traps when you're done. 180 meters from the destination. He smelled a stench from above. Upon arrival, as expected, an Njibo is doing pull-ups in the trap again. But what I didn't expect was the stench this guy emits. More powerful than the smell of 100 burning tires. Wait for it to stop struggling. Handmade quilts made from coats as ancestral shields. Stand in front and slowly approach. Before the other party reacts. One trick capture case fell to the ground. Dude, the stinky smell is suffocating. Even the wilderness handle was almost unable to withstand it. Take out the dragon slayer. Hurry up and send the other party a box lunch. Pack it back to camp and throw it on the fire for charcoal roasting. Remove the fur. Remove the smelly pit in the back half. What's left is tonight's dinner. And then we put it on high heat. Trying to get rid of all the hidden viruses. Half an hour later, a delicious meal was cooked. Cut off a piece and taste it carefully. Oh, my God. How can you describe the taste? It looks like steak with an awesome wrap. But there's an old saying that smells bad and tastes good. The foodie was eaten several times in a row. Calorie doesn't know how many times as much as beef. Spread out the charcoal when you are full. This will keep him warm all night. Just the smelly temptation on the coat. Keep him awake for a long time. Time came the next day. Before the heat gets too hot. Basie made a mistake. On the way, I found a plant called shrub grass. It is characterized by a hollow interior. Can be used as a straw. Under a cliff of bean. This position is close to sea level, if nothing else. He had access to all the fresh water he wanted. As you keep digging down, the wet sand gave him hope. After a few minutes, good guy is the source of life he has been dreaming of for a long time. I didn't want to go to Zibay, and I didn't drink it rashly. Stuff a straw with charcoal and a pinch of grass. Put a cotton cloth and wrap it at the entrance. Play a secondary filter. Everything is ready. Get down and squat and start enjoying. Sweet and refreshing. Dihydrogen monoxide is dozens of times higher than beef. Fill it up. Step on the accelerator and keep going. And there are little bees flying around. He had the wrong idea again. As we move forward, the foodie quilt is indeed to times. He actually found the nest of the bees. Well known. The handle of the wilderness world is not a false name. For the sweet taste. Haney was bold enough to decide to take hot pot. Cover bare skin with clothing first. Take out the ignition and ignite the fire. Use the billowing smoke produced to smoke it away. Take advantage of this empty period. Lord Bay attacked directly from the middle road, who expected that when he achieved the fruits of victory and was ready to retreat. A little bee lies on the forehead of the quilt. And kissed him hard. After quickly evacuating, the giant came from the eyebrows. Due to being in the blind spot of vision, he had to ask the photographer to take down the wind. Fold it for a whole piece of honey. Bay Daring did not feel at a disadvantage, and then whining about it. It tastes 100 times better than honey imagined. Freshwater compounds far exceed beef. However, the foodie is not known. His doom had only just begun. Walk for hours under the scorching sun. The eyelids feel hot from time to time. The camera turns. Oh, my God. Isn't that the Doctor Strange we know? Remembering the experience just now. Bayi is not only afraid, but also feels deeply unworthy. Added to the blistering heat, this taste is worse than being eaten by him. I haven't seen anything in the wild for many years. When the fierce beast saw him, they all retreated. Unexpectedly, it folded in front of the little bee. And he was angry. A short-eyed rattle-tail spicy strip took the initiative to deliver it to the door. Pick up a stick without saying a word. Start dealing with each other until you find a suitable starting point. Help knock out the sticks. I sent him a box lunch with Dragon Slayer. You can't take your tongue out lightly. Buried deep in the sand. Ignite the flame on the spot. Light soy sauce and dark soy sauce are not added at all. Take off your coat rack and roast it on the fire. After half an hour, the fragrance fills the entire camp. The foodie was rushed to take a bite. The meat quality is not firewood or greasy. It is quite strong, similar to chicken and fish. Eat and drink enough to continue to trek east. I don't know how long it's been gone. Signs of human activity appear on the ground. Not far from here. It's an endless ocean. Next, just move along the coast. It won't be long before we return to civilization. But at this moment, Morgan just wanted to take a good dip and come here. He successfully completed the challenge. Not every parachute is safe. Fine, this time, the location where Bayi landed is inner. The little lake looked at the ankle, entangled with dense parachute ropes. He's glad he didn't fall into the sea. Otherwise, the consequences will be unimaginable. He was dragging a parachute soaked in the lake. Come to the shore, tucked the parachute into the backpack. He got up and ran forward. In this issue, Bayi came to Turkey. The terrain here is very rough, but under the feet that are not circled, it is like walking on the ground. Walking on the accelerator for half an hour. A wild goat on the street made him find out. As soon as I got close, I smelled the stench on my bones. Although I can't eat it, but this fur can be beneficial. Take off your goat coat. And a little more suet, of course. And then he went into the thick descending arch, along the sound of the rushing water. Find the highway in the jungle. To accelerate progress, they decided to build a ship, the beacon, and go straight down the river. The materials are made of local birch trees. The material is hard and very suitable for keel. The branches and leaves that fall down are bent into a circle with the umbrella rope. And then it's reinforced with birch, which is strong enough to prevent deformation. Waterproof parachute on the bottom pad. The oars are tied with branches and sheepskin. There was no delay. Row the blue morning and go downstream. As we move forward, the sound of the water getting louder and louder. His extensive jungling experience makes him more vigilant. After docking nearby, a 37-meter waterfall appears ahead. Think calmly. Decided to put the wood down first. I crawled into the jungle and came to the top of the waterfall. The terrain on either side is steep and slippery. Rock climbing is not practical. Wood is inspired. I thought I could use the umbrella rope seat strip suspension lock, so I found a wooden stick and did it quickly, processing more than a dozen steps in one go. The lantern lit, sturdy branches are tied up and ready to go. Without saying a word, being boldly started to land, due to limited length. Plus the rope gets slippery. At a distance of 8 meters from the water, find a foothold in a rock crack, looking at the unknown depth of the water. Lord Bay knows there is no turning back. Grit your teeth and use your legs. Jump straight underwater. Turn your hands in the air at 720 degrees and fall into the water perfectly. The depth is much higher than expected. He hastened to call the photographer to try it out. After receiving the signal, the other party was not vague, carrying the machine into the water. After a long soak, Bai Chenhao's floating effect is greatly reduced. In addition to protecting him from the impact of the reef, the experience is no different from swimming. Until you reach the shoal, Lord Bay abandons the ship and went ashore. A jet stream consumes a lot of calorie. It's time to find a protein supplement. He found the broad fish in the grass. You're welcome to eat shellfish. Pack it up and take it to shore. Clean up the internal organs. Throw it in water and heat it for 37 minutes. Easy to taste after being cooked. The taste is smooth, neither salty nor light. It's just that the portion is a little not enough to eat. Clean up and keep trudging forward. Found half a mountain not far away. There are caves big and small. It is said to have been excavated by hand 2,000 years ago. A once-in-a-century landscape. He naturally wants to observe it carefully. Enter the cave. The seamless design amazes Bai. Immediately decide to trim on the spot. Take off your wet clothes and put them aside to dry. During this period, head to the creek to prepare today's dinner. Open the stone to find a match. Just a few minutes allowed him to easily catch two. Just when the foodies were disliked and there was less meat, another grass baby was found lurking underwater. Approaching from behind. One trick capture easy uniform. I don't want the protein in my hand to run away. Hand was returned to shore to find a money horse. Remove the thorny branches and leaves on the surface. Tap the tendons with a stone. Make the fibers inside come out one by one. Use them to string crabs together. By the way, I packed some dry firewood and returned to the camp. Get dressed and enter the second floor of the grotto, looking for a kitchen suitable for cooking. At this time, the hole in the staircase attracted Lord Bay's attention. Set fire to the side. Put the stone and heat it with fire. Fill the pit with fresh water. Use heat conduction to throw hot stones into puddles. About 80 or 90 degrees, put the crab in. 5 minutes later, a red-boiled crab is out of the pot. Take a bite and crunch. Crispy and delicious and taste quite authentic. Simply plug the gap between the teeth. The back didn't stop either. Plan to make a torch. Open labyrinth cave. Take out the suet refining you picked up at the beginning. Tear cotton shirts into strips. Soaked and wrapped around sticks to make torches. Then he drilled into the depths of the cave. I can't see my fingers. I don't know how long it will take. The lens of the cave finally shines. facing the vertical cliff. Lord Bay did not hesitate. Climb up the hole. Long periods of weathering cause rocks to become extremely fragile. Rock climbing with agility. The power of 9 bulls and 2 tigers is wasted. Barely climbed to the top of the mountain. Look around. It's like an arid prairie. Land poverty. The climate is hot. Therefore, fresh water has become a problem he has to face again. Walk to a dry riverbed and dig down. Except for sand, it's dry sand. Can't see any sign of water. Soon the sky darkened. Lord Bay didn't mean to stop. Moisture loss is slow at night. Put on a warm coat. You keep going. I think about breakfast as I go along. Found a flat and empty spot on the way. Junglers are used next to stones and sticks. With experience and intuition, Mo Liu has processed a set of implementation traps. Find a stone crack when you're done. I am worried that I will encounter the grey wolf sneak attack the quilt in the middle of the night. Build a barrier with stones. After building the hole, the size and length inside are just right. Enjoyed a burial in advance. Time came the next day. Wake up beautiful from the pile of stones. Teeth do not brush, face do not wash. The foodie is caught and comes to check the trap. Take a look at the good guy first. Inside lies a gluttonous lizard. Nothing. On the spot, he sent the other party back to the camp with a packed lunch, strung with sticks. Big enough to cook Turkish barbecue over a fire. 10 minutes thick out of black Reggio. Take a sip. The meat is strong and chewy. Much better than bibimbap bought on the street. Mix up 5 treasures and 6 treasures. The paymaster is off again. Fortunately, it didn't take long for manna to fall from the sky. Rescue him from the scorching sun. As we move forward, the vegetation has changed. Sun grass that should grow in coastal areas. Plateau regions emerged. Just when he was confused. Ahead is a large salt field. Thick rock mass formed on the surface of soil. Groundwater is saltier than seawater. For a sip of authentic fresh water, Lord Bay spread his coat in the pit, sitting quietly in the rain for half an hour. Enough citations to crouch on top of the project. Quickly replenish the bowl spine. Big Mouth stepped on the accelerator to the edge of the salt field. Re-enter the complex terrain of the plateau, all the way through obstacles. Hard work pays off. It didn't take long for a building to appear in front of me. This generation has also successfully completed this challenge. Handheld stick. You can handle a 2.5 meter long giant python. As expected of the handle of the wilderness world, there are also giant wolf beads that are crunchy and burst. Even species that have never been seen dare to directly crunch. In a rainforest full of danger. Survival in the wilderness. It's a piece of cake for a jungler. Belize is a remote country on the Caribbean coast. Nearly half of the country is pristine wilderness. Harsh living environment once lost in it. No one will come to the rescue if you shout your throat. In this issue, Bayi challenged him. Take a 25-cent helicopter. Come to the sky above the destination, because the jungle is too famous. This time he's going to take the do-it-yourself approach. With the help of lazy rope, indulge in a silky descent to the ground from an altitude of 45 meters. After the quilt indicates safety, the old driver slowly left. The altitude here is 610 meters. Next, he's going through the jungle. Go to the shores where people live. Before the official departure, scavenging is planned to collect some supplies. The trunk of a pine tree is rich. Fatty is a great material for wilderness fires. The ancient Maya used them as mosquito repellent. And the glue to repair the canoe. Simply pack some quilts. It is not too late to walk down the waterfall. It's the rainy season. The ground was wet and slippery. It takes a lot of energy to trudge. The voice just fell, suddenly bared. My darling. The famous wilderness handle was almost lost. Fortunately, the response is fast. Otherwise, survival in the wilderness will end in Season 3. Calm the rush of adrenaline. There are only a few quilts left on the journey below. In order not to repeat the same mistakes, He had to find a way to climb to the ledge on the other side, looking at the rushing river below. To be safe, I brought back a log from the vicinity. Temporary bridges on ledges. The problem is that it can't be fixed. The slightest deviation will be washed away by the rapids, but there is no turning back. Be bold and no longer care. The prostate trick move forward. Seemingly simple, and that balance is really, really demanding. Arrived at the opposite side without a hitch, the quilt comes to the lower port and passes through. Unexpectedly, the road was blocked by the rushing river again, well known. He is famous for not detouring soft landings into rapids. Look at tens of cubic meters of water flowing every minute. Be bold and not afraid at all. He walked straight to the other side. Come directly below the rapids. Cool from start to finish. It made him feel like he was about to be empowered. Drifted to shore. Just 2 steps. I was stopped by a waterfall in front of me. Take a look. The drop is nearly 9 meters. On either side are vertical cliffs. A detour is impossible, but only take risks. I don't want to fall to pieces. You need to test the depth before diving. Tie a stone to the rattan. Throw it underwater without saying a word. Wait for the bottom. Bayu began to pull back, with open arms. Measured in height. I measured the depth 3 times at about 5 meters for. I have a bottom line. Bayu no longer pedaled hard. Jump under the waterfall with your legs together. After many hardships, it finally entered the development of the bucket. The secondary forest inside is crisscrossed. It's a difficult journey. Any animal or plant could threaten his life. And we walked. Good guy. A giant grandeur has been discovered. He's about 8 feet long. It's bigger than an arm. Live by mammals. From time to time, I want to attack, but I encountered being boldly counted down for 8 lifetimes. A few sticks hit the forehead. Make him incapacitated in an instant. As the knife falls. 3 or 5 rounds became appetizer. It's getting late. It's time to think about setting up camp tonight. I don't want to share a bed with snakes and insects. Gotta build a big bed off the ground. Find the Brazilian plants. Clear and strong. Ideal for building shelters. Remove the branches and leaves on both sides. What time did you pick the bark as a rope? Support with tree trunk. Left side. A pair of frames is processed in 3 or 5 times on the right side. Use brown donkey liquid in half as a mattress. I don't want to be drenched in soup in the middle of the night. A large area of the roof is covered with brown donkey liquid. Then take out the ignition stick and rub it a few times. The raging flames were immediately met with difficulties. Onion, ginger, garlic cooking wine are not added. After half an hour, the outside is burnt and the inside is tender and juicy. Smooth taste. It tastes like ribs. I don't know how many times more protein than beef. This tree is called the unlucky tree. If you accidentally touch it, you can see the power of it. But it also has another name. It's called a swap tree. Like many other plants in the jungle, there's a bad side and there's a good side. The bark of this tree contains an effective painkiller. After chewing, apply it to the wound. Effective pain relief in the jungle. At first glance, all plants are looking for trouble, but you just need to know what you're doing. Then these plants can serve you. Go down the slope. After a while, another dark cave was found. You must know that Bayu must drill a hole, stepping on the accelerator to the edge of the cliff. I don't know what's going on below. Ask Lumo first and count the time. It is judged that the height is about 20 meters. How to scare the bottom has become a problem again. I saw a vine that Bayu found, known as the jungle cable. Tried it. It's pretty solid. Without hesitation, he fell over like a monkey. The moment you touch the rock wall, hold on to the vines. Wait until you stand firm and follow him down, bold and effortless to the bottom. This is an initialized limestone tunnel. It's narrow and dark inside. Make the junglers uneasy. Just float along the river for a long time. The vision at the end of the cave suddenly brightened. Return to descending trek. It is said that there are many varieties of lei shou here. Move with caution. Then a horn acacia tree attracted Bai Yi. Its bark has the effect of slowing down the heart rate. In case you are unfortunate enough to be kissed by spicy strips, can slow the spread of venom. Pack a little and be prepared. Not once. A dark cave appeared ahead. It's a good opportunity for Bai Yi to collect protein. You need to make a torch before entering. The material is made of pine wood picked up at the beginning. This stuff is rich in grease. Hold firmly on the stick. Baodian dried sawdust and was beaten after sitting on the fire dragon ignited. Without saying a word, he walked into the cave. My darling. Countless rocks hang from the ceiling like tree roots. It's tooth and claw. Even Lord Bay, who has seen the world, is afraid. A lot of fresh water flows downstream, filtered through rock formations. Authentic mineral water, without a doubt. Pack some tape. I found a knot that settled here on the road. Attacked a few times with a fire stick. Both ended in failure. Just then he found another side-tailed scorpion. It's a species between scorpions and spiders. Remove a piece of paper with a stone. Take care of him. Put it directly in your mouth. Crispy and full of pulp. Protein is dozens of times that of beef. Follow the river to leave the cave. Came into a swampy area by mistake. Trek about 5 minutes. See the water inlet flowing ahead. He had an idea to build a valve. Accelerate progress, collecting large amounts of floating dead wood from the vicinity. Bark for rope. Simply put together a bell beacon and you're done. Without further ado, swipe out the valve. It didn't take long to reach the wide river. The sky is getting dark. He couldn't help but worrying. It is said to be infested with crocodiles and cow sand. Whenever you encounter the chances of survival are slim. But it's still dangerous to go ashore. Helpless, I can only bite the bullet and take a step to take a look. I don't know how long it took. There's a light ahead. As we get closer, I have successfully completed this challenge in this life. This thing like a wash basin. More precious than beef. Surviving on a sun-kissed island. Sun protection is essential. And this coral produces mucus. Just put on good sunscreen. The sun protection index is as high as 50. Just smear it all over your body. It can keep the skin white. Put it back after use and reuse it. No waste at all. Solve the sunscreen problem. Bai Yi came to the beach. Spotted a group of hermit crabs basking in the sun. He never refuses the protein delivered by the good guy. Catch anyone and separate him from the shell. These guys make a living from corrosion. The visceral part of the foodie will naturally not bite. Simply picked some crab claws. Just a little processing. It will be another sumptuous wilderness delicacy. Who knew he was not satisfied at all? I finally came. How can I miss an authentic seafood feast? Pick up a stick and sharpen the top. Into an overlord gun. Take off your robe. Without a word, dive to the bottom of the sea and start a jungling journey. Not to lapse in the water yet. A hidden yellow fishing trap was discovered by Basie, changed his tone, and the wilderness was launched a general attack. Determine where the other party is staying. I plunged down with all my strength. There were layers of sand all around the good guy in an instant. I have to say that as long as he goes out, there is no way back empty-handed. Quick out of the water with the booty. Just looking at this fat protein makes my mouth water. However, there are many parts of yellow fishing that cannot be eaten. They also cut off his wings. Married to the fire. As for crab claws, pour directly by the fire. Match the two. A proper royal meal. After 5 minutes, pick up the crab claws. The foodies are eager to taste. Baked pliers crunch with a bite. The sweet juice inside immediately burst. Finish crab claws. Tasting the grilled yellow carving fish again. It took a lot of effort to get this fish up. The taste of the land is not authentic. The taste is old and hard. Sleep beautifully for a night. At dawn, the quilt dived to the bottom of the sea again, trying to find some seafood to cook a nutritious breakfast. Just then, a dark mass of creatures attracted him. Without saying a word, stabbed in the past. Picked it up and it turned out to be a sea urchin. He's not polite to salvage it ashore. Remove the spikes from the surface with Dragon Slayer. Cut it in half. It's full of sand and guts. Clean up. The foodie is taken out and the eggs inside are eaten. The delicious taste is similar to duck egg yolk. Rich in protein and calories, let Lord Bay shrink completely. As for how many times more than beef, needless to say, survive on an island, although seafood can be eaten to the fullest. But water is a scarce resource. Fortunately, Bayu found a coconut tree, double bracelet tree, ass back. Climb quickly to the coconut tree with the strength of your feet. Pick a head first and throw it down full. Then use a knife at the bottom. Cut an opening. Hum a few bowls of pulp. Fill it with water again. A coconut contains at least 5 liters of water. It is the best freshwater resource on the island, except for coconut, banana trees on the island. It is also a good source of fresh water. Lord Bay is going to make a wilderness faucet out of bamboo. Remove the joint part. Sharpen one end into the trunk. Then just wait quietly. After everything was done, Bayu turned on hunting mode. While exploring the shore, found a torn wild crucian carp. It smelled putrid. Definitely can't eat it, but the bones inside can be put to good use. Tie it with rope to make a fish hook. Come to the beach and find some sardines as bait. Pick up a stone and smash it violently under the tide. The powerful shock wave caught the sardines on the spot. Everything is ready. Then it turned on the lyre key. See, all going well. Bayu's tense nerves finally relaxed, blowing the sea breeze and enjoying the scenery before sunset. I don't know how long it has been. The sound from the hook. Excited, heart-trembling hands quickly take up the line salvage. It turned out to be a beautiful black-hearted enemy eagle. Go back to shore and cut the fish. Put the processed part on the fire and roast it. Unseasoned seafood is particularly sweet. Lord Bay can't wait to take a bite. Meaty, lean, but not fat. Moderately salty. Protein is dozens of times that of beef. The next morning. I don't think the little fish last night was enjoyable. Bayu wants to get a big fish again. He has his eye on the underwater overlord, the big shark. To attract sharks, he didn't hesitate to use sea cucumbers as bait, but the big shark is unmoved. Seeing this, Lord Bay had to release iced black tea. After 2 minutes, as he expected, and a greedy shark swims by. It's about 2.5 meters tall. Cheer up and approach slowly. Just grab the tail. He is sure to take the opponent, who expected just a force. Frightened, the wild shark dragon wagged its tail and fled quickly. There is no way for Lord Bay to look at it. Transferred to a garbage dump on shore. There are a lot of equipment supplies here. The rubber hose in it inspired him. If combined with bamboo, it must be a powerful wild suit. Action is better than action. Prevent the hit prey from running away. He put a ditch in the front end with a govy spines. As for the hose I just picked up, can be tied to a bamboo fork as an ejection mechanism. This can greatly increase the speed and force of the fork. When everything is ready, dive to the bottom of the sea. Due to unskilled operation and visual life insurance, caused him to miss several times in a row. After repeated efforts, a pair of tentacles caught his attention. If nothing else, it's probably a lobster. Bayu, with shining eyes, immediately picked up the jade fork and shot it. Goodfellas wait to surface again. A female lobster was captured. The plump figure made times tremble for it. No more nonsense. Return to the shore and throw it directly on the fire to roast. Take a bite after it's medium rare. The meat is plump and the taste is smooth. Delicious seafood flavor goes straight to the sky. Then he picked up the fattest lobster meat. This is not a desert island. Obviously here for vacation. The jungler really has to brushes. In a swamp full of crocodiles and spicy strips. First use the first person who has been single for many years as bait. Caught an old catfish weighing 100 catties. Then he tackled empty-handed. Took a 10-meter long ringtail rode. He ended up playing with water in the swamp. The photographer under the shield almost dialed 110. The deep south of beauty. There are thousands of square kilometers of desolate areas. It is ravaged by hurricanes all year round. In this issue, Bayi decided to have a fight with him. Take a small plane of Tu-15. Arrive at the destination. The jungle here is thick. Skydiving is never a smart move. I was bold enough to choose a more exciting way to ride the river, while the plane is against the water at high speed. Just in time. He did a 360-degree backflip and fell into the water. Swimming is a quilt's forte, but soaking in swampy waters made him very unreliable. What's more, there are more than 2 million rattling alligators in the local area. It is urgent to go to the diving area to develop. Even the handle of the wilderness. When you come here, you have to hold your heart and hang your gore. Any subtle movement underwater will cause his adrenaline to soar. To overcome fear. Hand-picked a handy stick as a walking stick. Under his blessing. Lord Bay thinks he can do it again. Just then came his shouts. Dude, a nutria just scurried past. They're the world's largest dinodon. With sharp fangs. It's about the size of a beaver. According to the locals, the taste is quite authentic. But no matter what the trick. The other party is unprepared, as he hurried on his way in frustration. Suddenly, a quick move to look back at my mother. The jungling part also depends on the handle. Without saying a word, I divided my forehead first. Light soy sauce and dark soy sauce. Stick with the soy sauce. A crunchy sound on the spot. The sashimi is nutritious and chewy. This is much better than beef. Replenish energy. The throttle under the quilt is a lot faster. And we walked. A stench came from above. Just poked the mud twice with a stick. Immediately bubbles pop up. Not surprisingly, it's biogas released by rotting plants. As the saying goes, it smells bad and tastes good. If I hadn't just chewed spicy strips, the foodie quilt needs a whole bite. The further you go, the lower the water level. He's in alligator territory. The first person to go out was a little guy. It seems that he has not even passed the novice village. You dare to roar at the full level of the Wild King. In order not to leave behind the infamy of bullying the small, Lord Bay decided to let him go for the time being. Long-term impact of hurricanes. As a result, the materials here are quite abundant. I didn't walk long and found a broken toilet seat. Not far from him. Hidden rusty household water heater. It seems that civilization is not far away. Keep walking for a distance. It's a great habitat for alligators. Be bold and have to start being cautious. After saying that, I heard a movement not far away. Intuition tells him that 100% prey will appear. Go carefully around to the back. Just got close to my darling. A lectern is basking in the sun. It's about 1.8 meters tall. Cooked, it's a good appetizer. I saw that the jungler was surrounded by the King of Chin with a wooden stick in his hand. Keep a safe distance at all times. During the period of its prestige. Once a hungry wolf. Press firmly to the ground. I put a lot of effort into dealing with him all my life. Get the lethal mouth under control first. I sent him a box lunch in the fastest way. Good guy hasn't waited for Ergoton yet. It's vacation mode. Carrying a 44-kilogram crocodile. Start looking around for a suitable campsite. See the higher terrain ahead. Lie down with your back around the accelerator. Don't tell me when you arrive. The location of the island is not bad. I can finally catch my breath and get rid of the mud for a while. Take care of the crocodile meat briefly. Save the leather first. take it back and make a backpack for his grandma. Now the sky is gradually not going away. On-site collection point materials. Hand quilt quickly builds a wilderness single bed. The iron bars on the trees. They are dry and soft. It's a great choice for a mattress. Finish laying the quilt. Lie on it and try the comfort level. I have to choose if I add a roof to protect me from the wind and rain. It's perfect. Wrap the branches above your head to make a frame. Packing point brown leaves cover it. The Kung Fu of 3+5 divided by 2. A wilderness luxury hand melon shed is done. The next step is to raise the fire. Packing fire melt. On the way back to camp, just happened to find a sea pear rat not far away. Looks tender and juicy. If there weren't crocodiles, this should be taken. The foodie will definitely open one of the meat. When I went back to the camp and took out the fire, continuous friction 80 or 90 times, the raging flames brushed out. With the fire, take off the quilt. Hold on to the shoes and socks and dry the soaked feet. Before the smell of feet on your hands disappears, cut into pieces of tail meat that is not firewood or greasy. Don't put onion, ginger and garlic at all. Strung with wooden sticks and grilled on charcoal over the fire. 20 minutes later, a feast of aroma spilled over the screen. No more nonsense. Hold it up and take a big bite. My darling. Young and refreshing. Oily but not greasy. It can only be described by Tinnis. I don't know how many times more protein than beef. In addition to filling the stomach, alligator fat also acts as mosquito repellent. Apply evenly to the face. Although the smell is average, but it can help him avoid the pain of flesh and blood. Time came the next day. He boldly stepped on the accelerator and continued to go. Worried about the sneak attack of short kisses underwater, he was very careful in all the deep waters. And we walked. I stumbled upon an abandoned log. In Baisie's eyes, this is simply an ancestral treasure. Just a little modification can greatly improve his jungling progress. Action is better than action. Collected a pile of materials in the blink of an eye. Hand rejuvenation through handmade quilts. Before the heavy rain falls. A bell beacon is done quickly. Who expected that the lottery would be removed as soon as it was pushed into the water? Don't want to take too much risk. Baisie has added benefits at the bottom. Wait until he's done. A rainstorm pours down. It is undoubtedly self-defeating to move forward rashly. After thinking about it, Bai didn't know and decided to avoid the edge for the time being. The time has come for the third day. The swamp has finally regained its tranquility. Bai Chenhao has undergone repeated transformations. Finally achieved the desired effect. I didn't eat fried dough sticks, buns, and spicy soup, rowing the paddle and rushed towards the opposite bank. Although the wilderness is full of fresh water, in order not to dilute, rehydration remains a major issue. So I found a nearby technical plant. Remove surface spikes. Strange sutra is similar to celery. Put it directly into your mouth and chew it. Nice guy full of the taste of nature. The carbohydrate content is dozens of times that of beef. Been busy. My belly is growling with hunger. The foodie has put the hunting target underwater. It's made up of big and small rivers. Many catfish live here. They usually like to live under tree holes. By virtue of this, the quilt is used as bait by hand. He was suddenly attacked by an unknown object. Twice in a row, he subconsciously shrank his hand, until the third time, with the cry of my mother. It's an old catfish weighing more than 20 catties. This thing is really powerful, almost through the quilt several meters away. It is urgent to hurry up and mention the crunch on the shore. Fighting for many years, there are not many animals that can make the wilderness carry a handle and break its skin. Today, he actually met someone. Don't talk about less, don't talk about more. I sent him a box lunch first, too late to rise the raging flames. Cut up the fat sashimi on the spot and start enjoying it. Smooth and juicy on the palate, chewy. I don't know how many times better than beef. Hengji feeding peels. Bai Yi finally walked out of the deep swamp area, heading towards highlands. But first you have to go through the dense cattail grass. It's a common plant in wetlands. Its leaves are incredibly sharp. It's all about the stick in hand to clear the way. It's a half-hour trek. I'm too tired to catch my breath. It's not easy to get out if you don't wrap your breath around. I thought I had escaped from Long Tan. The next second, he entered martial arts again. This area is an accumulation of dead branches and leaves. Step on it and shake like a sponge. Very unreliable. There is a risk of falling at any time. Every step requires a bit of energy. When I was happily stepping on the accelerator, suddenly a water pause halfway through. Good guy. The wilderness handle disappeared on the spot. Could it be that this is the end of survival in the wild? With the cry from not far away. That was pretty scary. There are weeds down there. Those with poor water quality are likely to receive a box lunch on the spot after stepping on the pit 3 or 5 times. The Morgan escapes the nightmare of Fulton Swamp. Walking on hard ground. Let him feel at ease. Keep moving forward and see what this is. Take a closer look, buddy. There are fishing boats in this place where birds don't lay eggs. It doesn't look like it's been stranded for long. With this reference, we also have a clear understanding of the power of hurricanes. Follow the stairs and climb to the top. To show him the way forward. And I landed on a rope. Through the dense jungle. The vision in front of me suddenly brightened. I can't care if there is a short kiss spoof sneak attack. Lying on the river, the water reaches the other side. Bad news. This place has long been devastated by a hurricane. And we went up onto the roof and we tried to find rescue. Coincidence? A helicopter was passing by. So far, the quilt has successfully completed the challenge.